Hey, how's it going, Average Joes? Today I want to talk about some series that are stuck in my Bermuda Triangle. So once again, thank you for tuning into another video. Please like my videos and subscribe if you're enjoying them as well. And also, please comment down below. That's where I like to interact with people in all of these videos. So, if you have any Bermuda Triangle books, as in like books that you have stuck in your Bermuda Triangle, throw them down below and we'll chat about it there. But to get into the premise of this video, I am going to talk about series that either I have started, have owned for a long time, have been meaning to read, but it just keep getting pushed off and off and off, and they're basically just lost in the Bermuda Triangle right now. And I have no idea when I aim to get to them, but I've been on my list for so long that they're just lost.
You make me sad.
And we'll see if I can get into them in 2022 or something. But that's the premise of this video. So I mean, we all have unfinished series, and this isn't just an unfinished series list. There's unfinished series that I started this year that I'm probably going to finish soon, or like I have a plan to finish them. These are ones that I started a long time ago, or I've owned for so long that there's no real reason why I haven't done it. I just haven't done it. It just keeps getting pushed off and off and off and off. So to kick things off, one of the bigger ones that I really want to focus on, and I even want to start this by the end of this year, but who knows, because of where I'm at. And that's the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. I have left off on Wasteland, so that's book 3. And I'm also reading this. The trouble with this one is that I'm reading it in multiverse order. So there's like a web page you can go to and to fit in some of his standalones in between that all connect in the multiverse in the world that is the Dark Tower. And I'm reading most or a lot of the ones that fall in between. I'm skipping some of the horror or a good bit of the horror. So I'm trying to read as much as I can in between them. And right now, before I can read book 4, I have to read 2 of his chunky ones, and that is Insomnia and The Stand, right here, actually. So those are the 2 that I have to read. The Stand is ridiculously long, and Insomnia is also still 800 pages. I think Insomnia is the next one I'm going to read, but it's just like, when am I going to find time to read that one? It's also, I have it on paperback too, so it's not like I can read it on my Kindle. And usually paperbacks go a little bit slower for me because I read my Kindle in bed at night, at least every day. So that's where I am with the Dark Tower. So I'm pretty much stuck. I also don't physically have book 4 with me. It is back in the States, back, I think, at my in-laws. But like, I still have the other 2 to read. So it's just taking so long for me to get into it. And just so many other series have popped up. I know I need to get into it. I've really liked book 2 and 3, but this one is just completely lost to me. I think the only multiverse book that I read this year was The Mist, and that is super short. It was like 220 pages or something. So yeah, Dark Tower is kind of lost in my Bermuda Triangle right now. Next one, Rage of Dragons. I read this pretty close to when this came out, not long afterwards. I got it for like $1 on Kindle, and I really, really liked it. I think it is a on the surface level, really fun, high paced military fantasy, and that I really like to read sometimes because, I mean, it's not going to have your flowery prose. It's not going to have that deep of characters or all these other things. There's some times where I just need a high octane, high paced, aggressive story. And that's what that was. And it was a lot of fun. And I really want to get into the next one, but I just haven't bought it yet. And the main reason is just, this is more of a cheapo reason, is that I'm just waiting for it to go on sale on Kindle. And I don't think I've seen it below $14 yet on Kindle. And I just only paying full price for books. And I'm also in no rush because it is the second book, but I think there's still a third. At least it's at least a trilogy. I don't know if it goes beyond that, but either way, the series isn't complete yet. So I'm in no rush to read book 2 if I don't even know when book 3 is going to come out and it hasn't been on sale. A lot of times when the next book in a series comes out, the previous ones will go on sale. So I might wait until that happens. But I read this a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I don't even know how long ago. It's been a long time, probably a year and a half ago, shortly after it came out. And it just has not even been on my radar ever since. I see ads for it a lot. I do every once in a while check on the price to see if it has gone on sale for Kindle, but I just haven't gotten it because I'm just no rush. Well, not when the next book's not sure when anything's going to come out. Next, Lies of Locke Lamora. I've had this on my list, or even I probably owned the first 2 books for a solid 3 or 4 years now. And I think everybody knows at this point that who knows when the next book is going to come out. I think the first 3 books are out. Book 4 is not even close to probably even coming out. There's no hints or whispers of it. So who knows when that'll happen. And that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. If you didn't know, I don't like starting unfinished series. So that's the big reason why on this one. However, I keep hearing that book 1 you can kind of treat as a standalone-ish. Like the story does obviously continue, but book 1 is good enough to have as a standalone. So maybe I'll throw it in there, but I honestly don't see, like, I know I'm going to want to go to book 2 because I'm if I like it enough. And I've even heard book 2 is really good. So I know I'm going to want to continue, and then I'm just going to get frustrated that the series is basically at a dead end. We'll see, but that is definitely one that is completely lost in my Bermuda Triangle. Name of the Wind, Kingkiller Chronicles, basically the same thing. I'm not even that hyped toward it. I know book 1 has a whole lot of hype, Name of the Wind, but I don't do so well with super hyped up books. So I'm kind of like, just maybe one day I'll pick it up if I really want that type of story. But the only first 2 are out, I think. And again, who knows when the next one's going to come out. I just don't, there's a difference between like A Song of Ice and Fire. It's just the last book and you still have 5 books that are still awesome to read. This is 2 books of what, maybe 3, maybe longer, who knows. So I'm just, that one's lost and I don't even know when it will be found. Keepers of the Lost City. I mentioned this as a middle grade book series that I've read several, the first like 5 of, and I think I own all of them, but the final book, which isn't out yet. Middle grades, I mean, those I push off on purpose just because you can pick it up. You can take months and months off, pick it up, and just know what's happening because they usually do a pretty good job of recapping because it's a longer audience and it's pretty easy to remember and pick up where you left off. So that's why I haven't really been in a rush to get into those. They are fun. They are good reads. Sometimes I like to do the middle grade books around Christmas time just because it feels, that sort of childish spirit or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm in no rush to get into that one. I have them available and ready. I just, it just lost in my triangle. And I think the last one I read was like a year and a half ago or something. Next one. This one is been on my list a long time. I almost started this in June. I almost started this a few times. It's any book by Robin Hobb, basically. The Realm of the Elderlings. I have not read anything by Robin Hobb. I was about to start it in June. I even told my wife that I was probably going to read it, and she started Assassin's Apprentice in May, and she read the first trilogy, and then I didn't. And she might be starting the Ship of Magic soon, and I don't know if I will be starting Assassin's Apprentice, but I'm going to try January. I've now basically kicked this can to 2022, but it's going to be at the top of my priority tiered list because that's what I do for the year. I make priority tiered lists for reading, and it's going to be at the top. And just like this past year where First Law was at the top, it was the very first one that I read. It's probably going to be the very first one I start in January to make myself actually get into Robin Hobb. But either way, I think I own 7 of her books and I haven't read a single one of them. They just go on sale all the time on Kindle. And I'm just like, yep, cool, $2, $3, cool. And so we own like the first 2 in like 3 of the trilogies. So, and of course the whole first trilogy. So yeah, Robin Hobb, 100%. I will get to her beginning of next year, but it's still, I've been kicking that can so long. Next one is The Queen's Thief. This is a 6-book series. I read the first 3 super quick, back to back to back, because they are quick, fast, smart, short. Really, really good though. Own the next 2. Found out that the 6th book at the time of reading the first 3, found out that the 6th book didn't come out for like another 2 years. It came out last year, but now the paperback edition of that book still doesn't come out until this next March. I own all of them on paperback, and even though I'm not like a book collector or stickler for those things, after 5 out of the 6, I might as well make the 6th one matched with the rest. And I'm just not in any rush to pick it up, but I still have 4 and 5 I own. It's just been kicking it down the road. I could easily just read those 2 and wait for the 6th one to come out, because I think it'd be easy to just pick up. Even now, like even jumping into book 4, I could probably pick up what's going on pretty easily. But it's just been kicking it down because I have so many other books to read, and I might as well wait until I actually have the 6th one in hand, and then I'll probably knock it out. But even once I own it, I'm not sure when I'll even get to it. Last one I'll probably talk about is Sebastian St. Cry, Saint Sir, Saint something. And I even did a Why You Should Read video of this recently. It is like an 18 book murder mystery series. And I've read the first 5 or so. I think we own up to like 9. We own a ton of them. I think my wife is 1 or 2 books ahead of me. And they're like super short, 270-page murder mysteries that go super fast. But I just haven't worked them in because I've wanted to try either this thriller or maybe a little bit of horror here, or like a lot of the standoffs that I try are on Kindle Unlimited or these things. And like I have these fantasy read alongs and stuff like that. So the Sebastian, I've just been kicking him down the road as well. I really should fit one in this month because it is October and it's a good time for a murder mystery. But I just have so many other books that I want to fit in this Halloween season. It's not necessarily Halloweeny; it's just a murder mystery. But once again, I think December might be a month of short reads that I have on my list because I just want to make sure I finish all those books at the end of the year and then start 2022 fresh and not like in the middle of one. So yeah, I think that Sebastian, we'll see when it can fit in, but it's another one of those that's really easily one that you can just throw in whenever you want. And even though it's been over a year since I've read one of these, it's easy to pick where I left off because there's definitely carryover in between, but also each book is very episodic. So it's really easy to do that. Same thing what I'm doing with Dresden. It's not on this list. Dresden isn't because I actually have a plan to continue it later. I'm taking an actual break because I think I'm on book 9 and they've only come out with 17 and I'm not sure when 18 and the rest are going to come out. So I'd rather have books left to go to for Dresden versus running out and then just like waiting a year or two, having to wait that long. So I'm going to try and spread these next 8 or so books out as they go along. But that's it for my series that are stuck in a Bermuda Triangle. This is just ones that you kick down the road for way too long. You're afraid they're kind of lost. You're not sure when and if you will get to them. That it's just been so long. I will not go back and reread any of these previous ones. I will look for any sort of spoiler reviews before if I need to for any of them, because I'm not one to. That's also why I don't start series that are unfinished, because if it's 2 years from now, some people were like, oh, well, I'll just reread the series in anticipation. No, not me. Nope. I'll just go online and look at some reviews for books, full spoilers, and be like, all right, cool. I know what's going on. Let's just jump back into the book. So yeah, there's my Bermuda Triangle books. What are some that are stuck in your Bermuda Triangle that you're just not sure when you're going to get to, what you've been kicking down the road forever? Let me know in the comments and we can discuss more there.